Today I want to take another look at Genesis 31 and check out a few more verses. Let's look at verse 4. It says, "So Jacob called Rachel and Leah out to the field where he was watching his flock." Notice that he called them out. He didn't go talk to them around the rest of the family, around Laban, around the brothers, any of that. He calls them out into the field to talk to his wives. Verse 5, he said to them, "I have noticed that your father's attitude towards me has changed. But the God of my father has been with me. And you know how hard I have worked for your father. But he has cheated me, changed my wages 10 times. But God has not allowed him to do me any harm. For if he said, 'The speckled animals will be your wages,' the whole flock began to produce speckled young. And when he changed his mind and said, 'The striped animals will be your wages,' and the whole flock produced striped young. In this way, God has taken your father's animals and given them to me." And see, this goes back to something I talked about in a few previous days, was the putting the bark and things in front of the animals. I didn't really do anything for me. I think that was Jacob just kind of being superstitious. And Jacob kind of alludes to that here and realizes that. He says, "But God has not allowed me to do any harm, for him to do me any harm." God did this. He even says in verse 9, "God has taken your father's animals and given them to me." So Laban tried to cheat Jacob. He's tried to cheat him on multiple occasions. He cheated him with Rachel and Leah. He's cheated him in wages. He's cheated him with the animals. Laban is just, this is his family he's doing this to. What does he do to everybody else? This guy is awful. But God was with him. So even though Laban tried to cheat Jacob, God protected him. And God understood that, and Jacob understood that. God showed Jacob that he was greater, that he was able to overcome, that he was able to take care of this. And this had to really build Jacob's faith, to see that even though this man is trying to do everything he can, God is intervening time after time after time to bless me. When we see God work in our lives and bless us, or work through a difficult situation, we don't see the way out, but God comes through. We see that over and over, and it gives us more confidence in God. It builds our faith. I think that's why we need to kind of have those personal markers in our lives of the moments when God worked, when God came through, when God was big, and we knew it. He was always big, but sometimes we don't always acknowledge it. I think we need to kind of write those things down. We need to remember those things. The Israelites would set up altars and set up monuments to remember the big moments when God did things, like when they crossed the Jordan River on dry land. That's a moment. They built a monument to that so that they could remember it. And Jacob here is remembering that. And he needs to, because there's going to be more difficult days ahead. We all have those. So we need to remember the moments where God came through, because it tells us God will come through again. You guys be soon, and trust in God.